Hello and welcome. I'm Gustavo Tolosa, and I am the creator of the 7-Day Detox and Reset program. And I am a Start Solution certified coach and a whole food plant-based coach. And as you know, I'm also a professional musician, a concert pianist. So I've been doing this for 10 years now. I've been whole food plant-based. I started with the Starch Solution, and I've gone through a lot of education and fine-tuning of the program. So one of the things that I noticed in these years is that people have a roadblock, and a lot of people fall off the wagon, and they stop following this wonderful way of eating because they don't like to cook, or they don't have time to cook, or both. And many people think that they have to be chasing new recipes every week, and that they need to create these elaborate meals, and it's not true. So if you like to cook like I do, I don't have a lot of time, but I love to cook. And if you like to try elaborate recipes, that's great. But I feel like most people want to eat something healthy, whole food, plant-based, something that it's going to taste really good, and that it's not going to take a lot of time and a lot of money. So I have pretty much become sort of an expert on creating these meal ideas that I don't like to call recipes. They're just meal ideas that have 3 or 4 ingredients, and you make it quickly. So I want to ask you to have paper and pencil handy, because there is no written recipe. This is a very simple meal idea. It has 3, maybe 4 ingredients. The ingredients are potatoes, leeks, and kale, and maybe one extra one if you want to. But that's it, and it tastes great, and it has 1 or 2 spices. And so go ahead and have something to write it on, or watch the replay later. The plan I have for today is that I'm going to show you the recipe or the meal idea. Then we'll have a Q&A if you would like to ask me questions about what I showed you, or about the way that we eat, the whole food plant-based way of eating. And then I want to talk a little bit only, not too much, but just to give you an idea. I feel like some of you don't know what this 7-day detox program is, and the success that it's had, and how I make it possible for everyone to participate if you want to do it. If you want to stop those cravings and get back on the wagon and stay there, if you want to even try a little bit of fasting and see the powerful effects that has in the body, and learn several meal ideas that will keep you going, then I'll talk about that. But let's go on, and I'm going to show you this soup. Comes from Mary McDougall. I spend a lot of time with the McDougalls, and I just love both Dr. John McDougall and his wife, Mary. Mary is an amazing cook. So this recipe is hers with a variation that I've made. And but I do want to mention that it's inspired by Mary McDougall's soup. So here we go. In a large pot, I have 4 leeks that have been sliced thinly or chopped, and I water, sauteing them, or dry sauteing them for 10 minutes. Adding a little water when needed. I am doubling this recipe, so if you want to make a single recipe instead of 4 leeks, you will need 2 leeks. And you just add a little water whenever you feel like you have to. If it's really dry and it's getting too brown, you add a little. If you have an instant pot, you could be doing this in the instant pot with the saute function. To this, we will add 6 cups of water. Since I am doubling the recipe, I am adding 12 cups of water. Whatever you see in the screen here is what I am doing, which is a double recipe, but you have to cut everything in half if you want to do just one recipe. The original recipe by Mary McDougall calls for 6 cups of potatoes that are peeled and cubed. Yukon potatoes, if you want, would work, or just Russet. Now I'm doubling this, so instead of 6 cups, I am using 12 cups. And because we love potatoes so much in this house, and because I want to have leftovers and eat this for breakfast, for lunch or dinner, who knows, even breakfast, that's why I'm doubling it, okay? But if not, you just put 6 cups, and they're just cubed like this, okay? We need 1 teaspoon of dill weed, but I am putting 2 teaspoons of dill weed because I am doubling it. I keep saying that just so that you know that what you see here on the screen is, if you don't want to double it, just cut it in half. These simple meal ideas are the meal ideas that I use in my 7-day detox and reset program. That is wonderful. 7 days. It's very doable. I show you how to make these simple meal ideas. Some of them are mine, most of them. Some of them are from other people, and sometimes I even change them a little bit. I'm going to change this a little bit, and I'm going to add to this. It didn't call for any other spices, but I am going to add a 1/4 of a teaspoon of nutmeg. Nutmeg and potatoes go really well. So this is not in the original recipe, but I am adding it. And I'm going to add a 1/4 of a teaspoon also of turmeric, because turmeric is such a wonderful anti-inflammatory that I try to add it in as many things as possible. So here, that's it. So you add a dash of pepper, or as much as you want. You could even chop a small jalapeno if you wanted to instead of the pepper. And if you use salt, you want to put a little. I usually don't put salt when I cook. The recipe says to add a little salt, but I would not. If you use salt, I would add a tiny, tiny dash of salt when you serve it, so that you can actually taste it Here the salt would be diluted and you would not even taste it. Now we will cover this and bring it to a boil and cook it for 20 minutes or until the potatoes are soft. Since I'm doubling the recipe, I think it will need to cook for longer than 20 minutes. But basically you want the potatoes to be very soft, quite soft. And since this is going to be a creamy potato kale soup. We'll be back. About 30 minutes have gone by, 28, 27 minutes. And I'm going to check and see if the potatoes are soft. Yes. They are soft. You want to make sure that they're really soft. Okay, so now with an immersion blender, we will blend it. Using an immersion blender to slightly blend the soup, we will leave some potato chunks, okay? You can also remove half of the soup to a blender jar and process until smooth, okay? And then you can return it to the pot and mix it all. But I'm just going to do it like this. You can see how there are some chunks, but you can make it with more chunks, with less chunks. And now to this, we will add the Dinosaur kale. Dinosaur kale is like wrinkled, like that. It's not the other curly. You can, if you don't have any of this, you can use just regular kale, okay? And the recipe calls for 4 cups of chopped dinosaur kale, but because I'm doing double the recipe, I'm putting 8 cups of kale. So this is a wonderful, perfect soup because it combines the starch of the potatoes with the power of the greens. And what we want to do is cook this for 5 minutes if you're doing the single recipe. But because I'm doubling it, I will probably double the time. And of course, like I said at the beginning, you can do this if you have a large instant pot. You could do it in the instant pot. And so I'm going to mix the kale with all of the powerful nutrients that the kale has, plus the wonderful potatoes here. And I will cook it for 10 minutes and come back. About 10, 15 minutes have gone by and it's ready and it smells delicious. Look at this thick, creamy potato soup with kale. We will put some in a bowl. You can serve it like that, or you can add some, if you want some smoky flavor, you can add some smoked paprika. If you like some more pepper, some pepper. And if you use salt, this is when you would just sprinkle a tiny bit of salt there. But it is ready to enjoy. Well, that's it. So don't tell me that was difficult. Those are the kind of meal ideas that I love. Any questions about this soup? Really, the greens, it's to me, is the perfect soup. It combines the fiber and water and nutrients of the potatoes, and that provides satiety. The starch is what makes us lose weight. This is a weight loss soup. If you don't need to lose weight, then you can add some higher calorie foods. You can have slices of avocado. You could put some seeds on it. I mean, you can eat bread with it, but that is if you want to gain weight. Otherwise, eat it the way I made it. And the original soup had 1 cup of plant milk. I thought it was extremely creamy without it. And unless I made the milk myself, I am just I'm too worried that the milk that I buy at the store has oil and it has sugar and other ingredients that I don't want. So when I send out this replay, because you will get this replay in just maybe in an hour or so, when I send it out, I will go ahead and type the ingredients for you in the email, okay? I'll be nice. I'll type it for you so you don't have to worry or watch the whole video. And just make sure that you look. When I send an email that goes to a lot of people, it's blocked by email filters. So make sure you look in your spam folder, in your promotions folder, in your trash folder, in other folders other than the inbox, because many times my emails end up there. Okay. So, but I will send it. Thank you for giving us the typed recipe in the email. Yes, I will send you the ingredients. I don't need. So both parts of the leeks. Yeah, the leek you use the white and a little bit of the green, but you don't go all the way. So the green part you can use it later. You can save it, use it for another type of soup or saute with kale or something like that. But it's mostly the white part and a little bit of where the green starts, but not all the green. Okay. Let's see. What else? Any other questions that you have about this soup? In my or anything else, okay? Anything else that you want to ask about the starch solution or the whole food plant-based eating? Go ahead and ask. I'm here for any questions. Yeah, it's truly delicious. I just had it and it is so filling. We want to eat things that will cut cravings, especially at night. And I mean, all day, but especially at night, when a lot of us have cravings. I think it happens at night. Well, this soup will cut it, let me tell you. It's so filling. Remember that another powerful food to eat at night is sweet potatoes. There are so many types of sweet potatoes, and you can make them in so many ways that the sweet potato is truly the miracle food on the planet. You will there is no other outcome but weight loss and improved health if you eat sweet potatoes and some greens. Okay, so I just want to tell you a little bit about the 7-day program because I'm so excited. You know, I wanted to do it one time, and here I am doing it the 4th time. The results are amazing. I've put together the knowledge and the experience that I've accumulated in these last 10 years. And what I've done is I've created something that is short, 7 days. It's not 10, it's not 14, it's not 21, it's not 3 months, it's 7 days. And it takes and it covers a weekend, so it's really 5 days. And I'll answer some of your questions here in just a second. And so we log in 3 times a day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. If you cannot log in live, it's okay. You log in whenever you can, and then you watch the replays. And so during those sessions, we have real interaction, and it's powerful learning that when we all share what we do to succeed. But what I do is when I log in there, I show you exactly how I make. So I show you what I do and how I do it. I answer every single question that you have, and you get everything in writing. You get the replays, and then we get to try some new things. Like there is a day we start with a lot of starch and water and fiber to detox, and so you can try. This is the time when if you want to get off caffeine, if you want to get off salt or sugar or flour, this is when you do it. So we do that at first, the first 3-4 days or so, and then we start getting into more detox and resetting of our taste buds and our brain. And so we have a day of just vegetables, all vegetables. Then we have a day of vegetables without starch. Then for some of you who want to do an all fruit day, you can do that. And then we try a little bit of fasting, and we have Dr. Goldhammer talking to us about that. And then that's it. And so it's in a week, some of you have lost 6-7 pounds. Some of you lost a half a pound, but what matters is that you get back on the train. Okay, you get back on the wagon, and and you feel empowered. You know what to do. You know how to do it, and now you're part of a group. So that's what we do in the 7-day program. I hope that you will at least look at it. Just take a look. It's on my website, plantemas.com, and I'll send you the link when I send out this email. And if you're watching this in YouTube, in the description area of the video, you will find the link to read a little bit more about the 7-day program. Any questions, anyone? Any questions about the what I just made, about any challenges you may be having, about the 7-day program, about anything you want to ask? I'm open. Let's see. One of you asked, do you have recipes for sweet potatoes? I try to stay away from recipes. Okay, I want simple things. So what I do is I either steamed sweet potatoes, I roast sweet potatoes and cut them in and slice them and eat them with cinnamon, or make little sandwiches with 2 sweet potatoes and bananas in the middle, or baked sweet potatoes with some sautéed greens. Then I do have a couple of soups and stews with sweet potatoes. If you're interested, send me an email and I'll send you some ideas. And then then what if you don't eat breakfast? Fine, that's really good, actually. You know, if you do intermittent fasting and you are not eating breakfast, no problem with that. One of the things we do in my 7-day program is that when you want to skip a meal, you skip a meal. If you're not hungry, we learn how to eat when we are hungry, when the body asks us. So if you don't eat breakfast, you don't eat breakfast. That's okay. So one of you say, I bake them at 500 degrees for 1 hour. Yes, the Hana potatoes are truly amazing. They're miraculous. They have this creamy and vanilla flavor, and they're just incredible. But any kind of sweet potatoes that you like would work. I hope that you will try this soup. And I do have one more that I want to share in an upcoming video, and it's called the Green Prosperity Soup. And it has all types of greens, and it's delicious. And I do recommend, like Dr. Esselstyn recommends, to have 5 or 6 servings of greens per day. A serving, it may sound like a lot, but a serving is the size of, it's a fist. So that's what a serving is. You can have 4 or 5 servings a day easily, extremely easily. And the greens provide very powerful benefits to our body, but especially with our cardiovascular health. It's very, very important to have your greens, especially if they are steamed and you put a little bit of balsamic vinegar to make them more potent. You will be surprised at the changes in if you're having heart issues or if you have high blood pressure. This program is perfect because we, at least for a week, we eliminate salt, and your blood pressure will drop quite a bit. Anyone else? Anything else you want to comment on or ask, or any special videos that you would like for me to make in the future? Thanks, Gustavo. Simple is helpful. I say simple is best. Simple is best. And and just a few spices also. Sometimes a few spices do a great job. Like in this case, really the only spice that Mary McDougall used in the soup was the dill weed, and then black pepper if you wanted pepper. I added a little bit of nutmeg because I think that nutmeg and potatoes go really well. It may sound weird, but I grew up eating. My grandmother used to make mashed potatoes with the potatoes and the butternut squash, and she always put a little bit of nutmeg. I think it tastes great. And then, of course, we always want to decrease inflammation in our body. That's why I added turmeric. But other than that, it's very simple. And what do you think about the toothpaste mouthwash destroying benefit of greens? What do you think about the toothpaste mouthwash destroying benefits of greens? Really, I don't use mouthwash. I do use toothpaste, but I buy like a plant-based toothpaste. It doesn't really have any, I don't think, chemicals. So I'm not sure. Anytime I have a question that I'm not sure in the program, I research it. Sometimes I contact one of my plant-based doctors for help, and then I bring you the answer. I would have to check on this. I don't know enough. Do green need to be cooked? Well, according to Dr. Esselstyn, if you want to get the best benefit of the nitric oxide gas that is released from the greens when we chew them and eat them, it's best if they're lightly either sautéed or steamed, and especially if you add something acidic to it, it seems to make it even more powerful and potent, like a little bit of vinegar or even lemon juice. So he recommends having them green. But of course, we also know that it's good to have raw vegetables in the form of salad, or just raw vegetables like cucumbers and celery and carrots that we can just eat. But the 5 or 6 servings that Dr. Esselstyn recommends are steamed with balsamic vinegar. I'd like to learn more about knife chopping skills. Oh, yeah. Okay, well, I don't know if I'm the person to teach that. I think I'm a really good cook, but I'm not trained as a chef. So I've learned how to chop fast, but it's just by practice and having good knives. Someone who loves to cook seems to think that spices are easy. Yeah, I agree. I agree. When I try to wing it with spices, I always ruin what I'm making. Yeah. So what you want to do always, you can always add. I learned this from Chef AJ. You can always add, but you can't take away. Okay. So if in doubt, uh, put a little bit and just be tasting it and see that. But I agree. This is something that you learn with practice and by watching. So yeah, I mean, um, onion powder, garlic powder, oregano, smoked paprika. Those things are basic. I think I have them always handy, and you can't go wrong. You can add easily a teaspoon, sometimes a tablespoon, and it's okay. But always add half of what you think, and then start tasting it. And that's what I recommend. Anyone else? Anyone else? It's so nice to see you all. I love Zoom because I get to interact more. And of course, in the 7-day program, we all keep our cameras on. Well, if you want to, that is, it's not required. So I get to see your faces. You know, I send emails out and I receive your emails, but it's so nice to actually put a face with a name, and it's nice to actually talk to people. Well, all right. I look forward to receiving your emails once you try this soup. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, it helps me to continue growing. You go ahead and subscribe. My YouTube channel is under my name, Gustavo Tolosa. And then if you make this recipe, you can type a comment there when I upload it. And I'll see you soon. Those of you who have signed up for the 7-day program that starts next Monday, I'll see you there. And I'm super excited. I've sent you an email with a list of groceries that you need to consider getting before we get started. And have a good evening, everyone. Bye-bye.